And as I promised before the break, we're over here at Peacock Collegiate in the gymnasium, and we're talking to Brian Adams and Renee Verge, coaches of the high school senior teams at Peacock, talking about the events that are happening in Moose Jaw in the next couple of next few days, I guess we'd say. So, Renee, welcome to Moose Jaw this week.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah. And Brian, is this your first time with us?
This is the first time with us after all these years, Lyle.
A legend, and I have him on my own show. That's hey.
Well, I was thinking the same thing about you, so great to be here.
Yeah. Now, Brian, you coach the senior boys team here.
Yeah.
And you had, but coming up in the next few days, there's a lot of exciting things happening. Say on the weekend, on Friday, Saturday.
There is. We get to host regional, provincial regional championships here at Peacock, both ourselves and Renee's girls, and it's an exciting time. Teams coming in from kind of all over the province for regional playdowns. So everybody's pretty. Well, yeah, each of our teams will play 2 games, and the winner of those games gets to go on to provincial championships next weekend,
Which is called
Hoopla.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and of course, it's kind of unique that a team, the regionals are held for both boys and girls in the same school.
Yes, it doesn't happen a lot. This year, we're very fortunate, pleased to be able to host both the boys and girls. Both our teams have had really good years. We're both ranked #1 in our classification now in the province. So it's nice that we get home court advantage for the regionals.
Yeah. Now, Renee, you've been to a lot of tournaments this year and had a lot of success with your girls, and now you get to be home.
Yeah, it's just like Brian says, anytime you can play at home, it's a real advantage for us. Moose Jaw really supports basketball, so certainly for fans of basketball, coming in and watching some great basketball at home is a real nice treat for us.
Yeah, and of course the games on Friday. Now, this will be on before the thing's over. So what are the times for the games on Friday?
The girls are playing at 6:15 and 8 o'clock. Our girls will be playing at 6:15 against Jean Paul from North Battleford, and our guys will be playing at 2:45, followed by a 4:30 game. So both the boys' games will go first. Our Peacock boys will play at 2:45, and then the girls' games will follow.
And then on Saturdays, the winners of those 2 games will meet to decide which goes on to Hoopla.
Yeah, if all goes well the way we want it to go, we'll both be winning our games on Friday night, and certainly we want to be in the final. The boys will play at 1:30, and we'll follow that at 3:15, and the winner goes on to Hoopla, and for everyone else that comes to this tournament, their season will be done.
Now, Brian, tell me about next week. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I haven't got it straight in my mind.
City final
Yes.
is Tuesday night, yes.
Okay, and that takes place up at SciAst.
Every year we get to play the city final. It's a 1 game, and this year we're fortunate enough to be in it against Central, and it'll be Tuesday night. Again, girls go, I believe, 6:15, and boys follow at 8 o'clock. And again, Renee's girls are also in that final, I believe, against Caronport. So, yeah, we're kind of stoked about that.
And it's been a pretty competitive season here in Moose Jaw, and it's like the other teams from Moose Jaw are also going away for their regionals. So Central, I think, is going to Saskatoon.
Yeah, the Central boys are traveling. Caronport is who we'll be facing in the league final, and they are hosting as well. They're ranked #2 in the 3A classification, so they'll be at home, and everybody needs to play good ball right now. So certainly for those 4 teams that are in the league final next Tuesday, playing good ball this weekend not only helps moving on to provincially, but you want to bring your A game for your league final on Tuesday as well.
Yeah, and of course everybody's invited to attend up at SciAst, and it's a big, exciting event. Shaw, we cover the games, we play them back a few times and people love to watch because there's so much enthusiasm and desire and good talent out there.
Yeah, it's really exciting playing in the round, and it's a neutral turf for anybody that's not home court. Nobody has played at SciAst this year, so coming in, this year it's really fitting that it's prior to Hoopla. It kind of gets the kids used to what a real loud gym's going to feel like, having spectators on both sides of the gym rather than one side. So, yeah, there's some real advantages to having the league championship as late as it is this year.
And then next weekend, in Regina at the university at the provincial championships. They're called Hoopla, and it's a really special event in our province. I don't know if other provinces follow that same kind of thing, do they?
They do, yeah. A lot of the other provinces follow kind of the same format. They don't all call it Hoopla, but a lot of the Canadian provinces do much the same thing, where they kind of do the NCAA kind of play downs, getting to the Final Four, and we've been doing this since 1980. And I've been around since that first Hoopla in 1980, and it has just been a great kind of a great spectacle for high school athletics. The SHSA, I think that's it's their jewel of the year, to have that many teams, boys and girls from all classifications, all parts of the province, come to a major center. And this year it's going to be in Regina, and it's the thing that you strive for. Every team strives for is to get to Hoopla, and then fortunately play well once you get there.
Yeah, and in Saskatchewan they have 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. Is there a 5A anymore?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, there is. Yeah.
How big is that?
That's the biggest high schools in the province, and we're just a little bit under. So we're what we call the 4A classification, and the smallest schools in the province would be 1A.
And that'll be kids like what, from a school of like 100 kids or 200 kids?
Yeah, 1A is very, very small.
But it's a wild time.
Yeah, the whole town usually comes, and sometimes those are the biggest crowds. Sometimes is 1A, 2A. It just depends on, you're following. I know the last time that we were in Regina for Hoopla, there's a lot of people that traveled in from Moose Jaw just because they love basketball. So we had a really good fan base there. So sometimes it depends how close you are to the venue that's hosting it.
So people are certainly invited to join in and witness. The basketball has been a really good season all around. The teams have had successes, and of course some 3A teams are playing with the 4A teams, and so they get really stiff competitions. When they get into their own division, it might be a little bit easier for them to not have as hard a thing to do. But again, in basketball you need like maybe 10 kids, and then you can give her snooze, Bruce.
Yeah, and that's what you'll hear. Caronport will often say some of their hardest games are against us. We're a bigger classification than them, but certainly it pays off for them down the road. When they see people in their classification, it's actually prepares them better for that competition.
Oh, well, that's great. So also, and something we just pass on, is that Moose Jaw is hosting, because of the facilities and et cetera. Briarcrest College out of Caronport is hosting the National Volleyball Championships here, and that's a pretty big deal.
I believe they're playing those at the Yara Center, and that's going to be pretty exciting, hosting a national event. Yeah,
they've built they take 1/4 of the field and have made it completely into a volleyball stadium, and it's quite wonderful. You just go in there and like, holy, they've got stands in there, they've got a beautiful floor surface, and there's television moments all around there. It's quite something. So, of course, when you go to Hoopla, there's a lot of pressure like that, a lot of coverage, media. And of course, scouts for university are looking at kids too.
Yeah, I've already gotten phone calls today, and it's important that you keep your focus for where you are right now in your season. We talked about that in practice. We really can't look towards a league championship right now. We need to work to this weekend and so on. So yeah, you got to keep your focus. There's lots of good things about being seeded number one, but with that comes some extra pressure too as well. So you got to make sure you keep that in check with the athletes, because they might not let on, but they feel that for sure.
So what kind of things you expecting out of the weekend for yourself and your boys, Brian?
Well, again, much the same as Renee. We've talked about where the focus should lie, and that's on our first game tomorrow night. Again, we play Estevan tomorrow night, and it's kind of really, it's an old saying, but it's kind of one game at a time right now, and full focus there. It's a tough one to have a season as good as we've had, and maybe let some things slip away at the end because we're not too focused or looking farther ahead, that kind of stuff. So no, hopefully again, we've been a little injury prone this year, and we're still kind of fighting some injuries. It'd be really nice to get back our whole group of kids before the end, but that being said, the kids have worked very hard. I expect that this weekend, and I expect them to play good basketball.
And I'm sure they do too. And so I want to thank you too, because we've delayed practice for a few minutes here, and the girls are chaffing at the bit back there. And you wouldn't let the baskets down in case they started shooting.
Yeah, no, they are. We're really excited. Not too many practices left, so you want to max out on the time that you have together for sure.
Well, you both have, Moose Jaw has had a really good year of basketball. All the teams in the city have grown and developed over the year. And I know that people want to come to see the regionals. Don't forget on Tuesday night up at SIAS, the city championships, and again next weekend in Regina at the University of Regina. They're hosting in their wonderful facility the Hoopla Championships for all the basketball teams in the province. Thanks both of you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks to you for watching. We'll see you again soon on Moose Jaw This Week.